What is one of the greatest ethical dilemmas regarding information technology at this time? There are many issues, but one in particular stands out to us: the ownership of intellectual property, looking directly at copyright. According to the World Intellectual Property Organization, intellectual property or IP refers to creations of the mind, inventions, literary and artistic works, and symbols, names, images, and designs used in commerce.
Intellectual property can be subject to copyright protection. Therefore, the integrity of this IP can be violated when it is unlawfully shared or accessed by people who don't have ownership. This copyright violation has been ongoing for some time. When we think of piracy and copyright infringement, most of us might imagine something like Napster or pirated DVDs and associate piracy of the past with actual pirates. But issues relating to the ownership of IP and IT have been around for a very long time. The first software patent was granted in 1966. Fast forward to 1975, the Homebrew Computer Club made illegal copies of MIT's BASIC interpreter software, giving birth to software piracy. This started to become more common in the 80s with the advent of Usenet, IRC, and bulletin boards to transfer files. Movie and music piracy shared a similar path of creation. Prior to the advent of broadband, movie piracy was generally limited to bootleg copies of VHS tapes and DVDs, but with the creation of affordable high-speed internet and large-capacity storage, music and movie piracy exploded in the same way as software piracy, and today is a massive problem worldwide.
Piracy is a worldwide issue, existing in every single country of the world in varying severity. Piracy has a massive financial impact worldwide. For example, each year $34 billion worth, or 38% of downloaded software, is pirated. $20 billion worth, or 60% of downloaded movies, are pirated, and $12 billion worth, or staggering 95% of music downloads, are pirated. Clearly, these losses are unsustainable and symptomatic of underlying problems.
For example, one reason why piracy has been so hard to resolve is due to the slow nature of the legal system to adapt to the rapid changes in IT. The IT landscape is a very dynamic one, with new technologies being invented all the time. Legal systems, on the other hand, are notoriously slow to process new laws, and often by the time the legislation becomes law, new loopholes have been found to bypass this law.
Another reason why piracy has been so hard to resolve is due to the lack of general knowledge regarding its legality and the ease of access to this apparently free content. Chances are you or someone you know either knowingly or unknowingly committed copyright violation by downloading media that is copyrighted. These days, with the advent of high-speed internet connections, torrent and file-sharing websites, a downloaded movie or song is often only a few clicks away, and often the person committing the violation is not even aware of what they are doing is wrong.
To date, there have been a number of attempts at resolving these issues, but they've been met with only limited success. For example, using the legal option of punishing individual copyright violators to make examples has done very little in deterring others. This is in part due to the aforementioned slow uptake of new laws. For example, megaupload.com, a file-sharing website, was closed down in 2012, and a new law-friendly version, mega.com, which serves the same purpose, sprung up shortly thereafter in 2013. The failure of utilizing the law as a solution is further exacerbated by the very international nature of the internet. If something becomes illegal in one country, the company committing the crime can simply relocate its servers to somewhere that has a different law, as is the case with the Pirate Bay, a torrent website recently moving from Sweden to Iceland. Clearly, this solution is not working.
In addition to this, often it is actually easier to access pirated content than it is to access legitimate copies. While progress has been made recently, big businesses, notably the record industry and movie industry, have been slow to adapt to the changing digital landscape and implemented cumbersome and annoying digital rights management strategies to protect their IP. This makes sense from their business point of view, but ultimately it can affect the end user's experience, and for example, some software with DRM requires an always-on internet connection that periodically checks and verifies the software is genuine, causing interference to users and those users who experience connection problems to be unable to access the content they have bought. Furthermore, in the past, DRM has limited the number of devices which content can be viewed on. This may push people who would otherwise be happy to buy the content into finding it for free.
There exists a number of possible solutions. One solution could work by providing legal, more attractive and convenient options to users that by their very nature are impossible to pirate. That is, cloud-based subscription access to media and software. Pirated copies are of varied quality, like any kind of official support, and often contain viruses, whereas subscription-based streaming services are the opposite, thus more attractive to the end user. Spotify, for example, works by the user paying a small monthly subscription fee and then being able to access virtually any song to play any time on any device they own. That kind of convenience and comprehensiveness simply can't be offered by pirate websites, and so the more attractive legal option prevails. Netflix works similarly with movies, and Microsoft and Adobe are now producing cloud-based versions of their Premiere products.
Another solution is using DRM, but a less intrusive, more user-friendly version. The concept of DRM is not inherently bad, as it basically allows people to access content providers to get paid for that content, while ensuring copyright violations do not occur. If DRM could accomplish this without significantly impacting on the user experience, it would be a suitable solution. For example, DRM could allow content to be easily transferred from one device to another, could allow access to content on more than one device, and could be accessible offline for limited amounts of time to take into consideration users whose internet connection is unreliable or those traveling between access points. The game client Steam by Valve software is an example of successful DRM usage adopting these principles.